Good morning, folks. Welcome aboard another day of building Evie. Well, it's the evening actually. I'm cheating. I'm doing this at the end of the day because I know what I'm going to put in the video. There's a radical change, eh? So you're going to see me installing a bathroom towel rad, and yeah, I'll show you it now. Obviously, this is a different day, different t-shirt. I'm going to try and do things by subject matter, see how that goes. Anyway, first of all, I had to line up where I wanted this to go, and I realised that the temporary fittings that were put in place just so that they could run up the heating system been put in place with an Allen key that, I mean, it's a normal way of fitting towel valves quite often, I understand, but it's a special plumbing fitting Allen key size that I didn't have. Anyway, kindly, the shop was able to just use their tool off the shelf and undo them for me and put the tool back on the shelf. But anyway, because this towel rad requires some copper piping because it's the smallest way of doing things, and space is tight behind, I'm hiding this behind a skirting board. So Dad turned up to offer a hand, which was very useful. He's done a lot more brazing or welding, soldering in his life than I have. So it seemed like the thing to do was not to find out that I created myself a problem by doing it myself. And it was nice to have him along for the day, and he was able to suggest methods of doing this. Some of these fittings are male female, some of them are male with bits of pipe in the way, or female with bits of pipe in the between, what have you. Anyway, we got it as slimline as we could, which was the object of the exercise, and two people were able to hold the towel rad in place and actually fix it up in a lot more easily than I would have managed on my own. But as ever with other people around, then I tend to not video things quite as much as I would otherwise. This is obviously a wet rag, not a damp rag or anything. It's wet, trying to cool things down a little, and but there we go. I'm just trying to make an assessment of how it's going to fit into this skirting board. There's me chopping a bit of the skirting board, and I decided that I needed to chop out the middle pipe, if you see what I mean. And after a number of different ideas, bouncing around and talking with different people, then I decided the first thing to try was the circular saw, or track saw. I had considered a router, but I mean, ideally you want a milling machine to just stick it through and whatever. This didn't work at all. In fact, the track has a bit of plastic on the bottom of it, and that became this became hot. The radiator piece became hot and actually managed to stick itself to that bit of plastic on the back of the track, the white bit that you can see on the top right. But anyway, then I decided that as that hadn't worked, I would try the multi-tool. Didn't really have the blades for it, but this seemed to be making progress, albeit slow progress. So I changed it for a new blade and carried on trying. It really wasn't working. I then got a hacksaw. I've got a single handle for a hacksaw blade. That really didn't work at all, so that didn't last long. This was the wrong blade in this multi-tool, and anyway, it worked after a fashion, but I then realised that if I used a different blade in the track saw, then maybe that would get through it, and if I cut it in a different place, then that would mean I had less to cut through. It didn't work at all. So anyway, put that to one side, ordered some new blades, and started. Then this is the other blades didn't work very well at all. So then I got the idea of using an angle grinder and just chopping it all out, which I did, and that worked okay. But I couldn't get right down to the bottom of it, so that meant that I then had to try and get the rest of it out, and the flappy pads really didn't work at all. Making an assessment of how much pipe I needed to cut out, I decided that I'd cut out the middle section as well, just for ease, as well as these bits. The pipes don't quite run between the top and the bottom ones, so had to get all of this out. And Anyway, then I ordered an aluminium grinding disc. As you can see, change of clothing again. So this has taken a number of days to get right. But once I had the right tools, then using the a thin cutting blade on the angle grinder and an aluminium grinding disc, then that worked very well. I did get the thing a bit hot, but I think it's okay. The plastic covering that protects it was a bit sort of stuck to it in the end, but it all came off. So then I was all about fitting it all in the right place, and this is, well, it just took a lot of measuring and so on, and then deciding where to put these holes. I then spent too much time looking for my hole saw. 19mm hole saw, couldn't find one, so went over to the workshop and they were kindly able to lend me one, so I just did that out of shot. But you can see that skirting has holes in now, ready to be put on. And at this point in time, then I realized that I just couldn't really get to everything to try and put everything on. So I put the first saddle clips on. Saddle clips are just sort of a U shape with ears. They were the easiest way of keeping everything very tight to the wall. So I then took it off the wall so that I could more easily attach everything. Obviously, these clips need to be attached with very short screws because I don't want to go into those pipes that you can see on the left. I had to take everything off because I'd realised that my pipes weren't going to go onto the ends of the copper pipes when they're attached so close to the wall. So just excavate out a bit of the wall with some round sanding drums that I've got that go onto drills. Got them for doing something else, but you haven't seen that video yet. So anyway, these actually work quite well once I'd found the right size and used a bigger size than I thought I was going to initially, and the hoover seemed to pick up the dust quite well, so that was good. Then back to fitting everything in place, and well, it all went together. I seem to have lost the bit of video of me actually doing everything, but I had to do it twice because as you can see, it wasn't quite straight in the first instance, but I didn't realise that until I got too far along, about there somewhere. Then I think I found that it was not quite straight. I could see the bottom of the thing wasn't straight. Anyway, onto the pipework. So this is my Uponor Q&E pipework, which I think is Jeremy proof. I'm about to find out in the next couple of days. But when I turn the water on, whether all of my joints are indeed waterproof, but it's certainly very easy. Just stick the tool in the end and expand it, and then hold it onto the fitting while it contracts again. No screwing anything together, no soldering, no nothing. So it's all very easy. Well, that is, if you cut the pipes to the right length. This pipe I cut a bit short, and so I had to, well, I quickly decided that the thing to do was to throw that bit away and not use it. So now I've made this bit a bit long, but better too long than too short, eh? But it's certainly not going to clip to the wall. I don't think it's a problem for that sort of, I don't know, about 18 inches or so that it is. But that's that. There's the towel rad in place and plumbed in. Well, on the supply side anyway. On the outward side, then it's going on to a matrix in the kitchen, which I will do at some point soon. But that was what I intended to get done. It's taken a while, as you can see. It pretty much looks like this is one of the skirting boards, and so it's the pipe work for it is all hidden and whatever. I could have put a filler in here and made it a lot easier for myself, but that's not what I wanted to do. As my brother says, it's only my own time I'm wasting. So anyway, that's the towel rad in, and there's another on the other side, but we'll get to that on another video. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.